Hello, everyone. Laura Sprague here, Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I am honored to share with you some information about emotional resilience and how you can have it for your business and for your personal life. Nicole, thank you so much for inviting me to share a piece of me with all of you and what I've been doing in my life and in my personal life. And what I'm about to share with you is things that I have found in research and practice and from experience. And so hello and welcome. You all are in for a treat with being here in Nicole and Nicole's space. You guys are going to learn a lot from her. And again, I'm honored. And thank you so much, Nicole, for asking me to share with you a few tips on emotional resilience. So I got to share with something with you guys, and it may shock you, all right? So I've got to let you know a little secret. Your brain has zero ability to store motivation. I hope I didn't disappoint you, but you're going to want to write that down. Your brain has zero ability to store motivation. And if you're a personal development person or if you're new to it, I highly recommend listening to some of Jim Rohn's recordings on YouTube. Jim Rohn is such a huge person in the personal development world, and he says that the only kind of motivation is self-motivation. You guys can go Google that. You can find it on YouTube, but the brain has zero ability to store motivation. That's a scientific thing, but the only kind that you can have is self-motivation. All right, so I'm just going to put that in the back of your brain, and I hope that you are ready to take some notes. You guys, so a couple years ago, I came up with something, an acronym, if you will, or 4 Ds that just rocked my world. I'm driving in the car one day, and I had these 4 words that just totally gave me this aha moment. Now, I've spoken at a lot of business meetings, business professionals, but I really wanted to cater to you all in the Plexus world. And so I'm going to share with you what it was, those 4 words that gave me this aha moment. And they're going to be 4 Ds, 4 words that start with D. And the very first word, are you ready? The word is decide. Write it down. So decide what it is that you want out of your business. Decide what it is that you want out of life. I know for me personally, I used to live by wanting to please others, and I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that I was allowed to have things for myself. I didn't know that I could even think for myself. And you see, all of you are very powerful people. So maybe even pause the recording right now, write it down. What is it that you want out of life? What is it that you want out of your personal life, out of business? What is it that you want? So decide how you want your friendships. I've got my notes here because I don't want to miss anything. So I said go ahead and pause if you need to. If not, make sure that you get this written down at the end of your training. Decide what it is that you want. So I want to share something else with you that you may not know. So if you write it down, if you write your goals down, all right, for instance, decide what you want, write it down. If you write it down, you are 10 times more likely to succeed, 10 times more likely to do the things that you wrote down. So it's very important to write your goals down. It's very important to decide what you want, but make sure you write it down. So maybe take the time, like I said, to pause, but at least make a note to decide what it is you want, not what your family wants. Yikes, that was me. Not what your spouse wants. That was me. You guys, I bought couches that I didn't even like because my husband liked it. This was 11 years ago. Do you know that they're not cuddle approved? Yikes. But I wanted to please him. He loved leather couches, and they're firm and they are fancy, but they are not cuddle approved. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. We haven't cuddled in about 10 years, 11 years. Not comfy. So anyway, learning what I want, I actually had the confidence and the courage to tell him that I don't like them, and he's okay with me not liking them. He loves them, but he's okay because he, wants to cuddle with his wife. So Anyway, it's very important. Do you see where I'm going with this? To decide what you want. Decide what you want to be in your business. Do you want to reach silver? Decide. Do you want to be diamond? Do you want to be emerald? Do you want your Lexus? What is it that you want? Do you want to be a better wife or a better husband, better mom, better dad? Decide what it is that you want. All right, so after you decide what you want, okay, sometimes it might take some of you a little while, and some of you may already know. But anyway, so after you decide what you want, you have to define your terms. All right, define your terms. Are you going to do your business every day at 8 a.m. or noon? Are you going to do it? You're just fitting it in the nooks and crannies? Okay, it is. Our business that we are in Plexus is a sharing business. It's not a selling business, but a sharing business. But I'm asking you, how do you want to define your terms? Jim Rohn says, I love him, and I'm going to quote him a lot today because it just fits for all my aha moments. So Jim Rohn says, who do you need to become to get where you want to go? Maybe you need to decide or define who you are. Maybe some of you have joined Plexus to discover who you are. I love Plexus. Plexus is a health and happiness company. We have a great support system in Plexus. You've got really cool people that you can reach out to almost any time, and you'll get answers within the day. But who do you need to become to get where you want to go? Who do you need to become to reach silver? Okay, that might be a tough question for some of you, or all of you, or not. Who do you need to become to have a better personal development life, right? So who do you need to become to be a better leader, to be a better spouse? Do you see where I'm going with this, right? Who do you need to become? You have to define your terms. So I wrote down some of the terms that I think that was beneficial for me, that I needed to define for myself. And they may be different definitions for you, but you still need to define them, because I live to please others. That was the old Laura, and I'm reintroducing myself to people all the time from my past, and letting them know kindly that I am no longer this people pleaser. I love people, but I am learning to take care of me. So some of the words that you should write down to define, maybe not now, but later, is define your why. Why do you want to succeed in life, right? Define your why. Define the word success. What does success mean to you? Does success mean earning $100 a week, $100 a month? Does success, what does that look like? Is it being diamond? Is it having all debt paid off? All right. Define the word success. All right, so I know that you're learning these, your IPAs. Define how you're going to do your IPAs, which are income producing activities. Define the word discipline, and define the word trust, okay? And the reason why I say define discipline and trust is because there are two reasons why people don't succeed in life. And that is either the lack of discipline or the lack of trust. So I want you guys to really think about it. Which one is it that's holding you back? Is the lack of discipline, or is it the lack of trust? Because we all can improve. I don't have everything. Sorry, I had to swallow. I don't have everything together, but I do know what I want, and I do know how I'm going to get there to some extent. Les Brown would say you don't need to know how, but I have a very clear plan on what it is that I am called to do in life. All right, so I want to help people with emotional resilience. And so how we do this is first decide what we want. No one wants to feel bad. Decide you want to feel better. Define your terms on how you're going to do that. For instance, you're going to take Plexus products. You're going to exercise. You're going to define those terms. All right, so 2 reasons why people don't succeed in life: the lack of discipline, the lack of trust. All right. And I know those 2 words aren't the kindest words sometimes for people. But anyway, I do want you to really understand and grab a hold of, decide, and define. The third D is just where I think people get lost, people get frustrated, and they struggle. The third D is determine to take action. So you can make your list, you can define your terms and write them down because you're 10 times more likely to do them. But if you don't take the action behind them, those are our people who talk themselves out of things, which I have been in the past. I've done that before. You have to determine to take action, right? To have something, you must take the action to get it, correct? If you need groceries, you go to the grocery store, right? If you are thirsty, you drink water. So if you want success, what are the actions? Are you going to do the actions because you defined your terms, right? You have to determine. And that is even when it gets really rough. It gets really tough. I'm telling you, storms have been coming my way lately. If you can hear it in my voice, I have this cold and I haven't been sick in almost, well, with a cold, bronchitis type stuff, in almost 3 years. It's been that long. I usually can talk myself out of it, but I'm in transition mode. I'm moving from Pensacola, Florida to Reno, Nevada, and I'm at a pit stop here in South Dakota with one of my best friends. Her name is Alex, and I love her dearly. She's a Plexus ambassador as well. And, adjusting to the thin air does something to your body. So you need to determine. I had to determine to take the action. So I ordered today a salt inhaler. Do you know that you can get one of those? I'm not putting a plug in for that. But I just want you to know that I am determined to still take action on myself. I don't have it all together, but I'm going to find out the information, right? And so I hope that's what you guys are doing too, or y'all. I can talk like that too. Sorry if you're in Tennessee, because I love you guys. I love you, Nicole. And you have to determine to take action. So if you have your goals written down, like I said, success doesn't happen unless you take action. This includes personal development. How many of you are new to Plexus, right? Okay. So if you're new to Plexus, you are hearing the words personal development. What does that mean? What does that look like? This looks like you investing in yourself. I know, strange thing. When I first realized that I needed to take care of myself before I took care of other people, I thought it was wrong. I thought it was wrong to take care of me. But I quickly realized that I was running out of steam. I was running out of air. I was running out of energy, and I was running out of just mental strength, emotional resilience, right? So we have to learn to take care of ourselves. So personal development includes reading, right? So we have John Maxwell, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Shad Helmstetter, and, Helen McFadden and Sonia Dudley do a lot of training with personal development. Nicole and I even have some videos out that we've done with books that will help guide you in our takeaways. It's really investing in your mind, body, and soul, okay? So one of the first things that I do in the morning, you guys are probably going to laugh, but since we're, got the BioCleanse as one of our products, my morning routine clearly is to get up and go to the bathroom. Like many of you, you have to go. So I take my phone and I open up my Bible app. That's one of the very first things that I do. I multitask, and I know that you're quote unquote not supposed to do that, but I do, because I want the very first thing in my mind to be scriptures. For me personally, that's what I do, and I do it. And then I pray, and I have my time where I and then invest in myself. I listen to Jim Rohn, I listen to Zig Ziglar, and I listen to Les Brown. There's many things. And if you're curious, you can ask Nicole or reach out to other team members, and they will definitely share you some personal development tips. So then if you have to invest in your mental health, exercise. If you want people to join you, right? You have to set the example and lead by example and practice what you preach. So if you want people to take the products, because Plexus has awesome products, investing in yourself, you have to make sure that you are doing that. See, that's an action step that you can do. Determined to invest in yourself. Determined to take the action, right? Making sense? All right, so if you're wondering why you aren't reaching your goals, let's talk about this for a second. If you're wondering, I have to ask you, here's that word, ask. Are you asking yourself? Are you asking others to look at the product, to look at the information? Are you asking others to join you? Are you really doing that action step asking? You know, it's biblical. You have not because you ask not. And that's not just in business. This is our personal life, our prayer requests, and really the things moving forward in life. If you want something, you ask for it. If you're a child, it's like even your kid needs to ask. They can't just take it, right? So why would we want success? Do we want to take success? So I hope I'm making this very simple for you guys. So it's very biblical. You have not because you ask not. So think about that for a second. All right. So we have decide, define, determine, right? Decide what you want, define your terms, determine to take action, and the final D, dun, 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 are you ready for it? The final D is dedicate to the why. Dedicate to your why. So some of you, you're like, oh, my why. I've heard it needs to make me cry. I don't know what my why is. I just have a feeling in my gut, and I'm just going to do this because I know it's right. It feels right. I really want you all to take the time and reflect on why it is that you wanted to do a home-based business. Why did you want to become, an entrepreneur, business person? Why? Okay, so here's something that might help you out. If you can't figure out your why right now, that's okay. Borrow someone else's. I know plenty of people who are in the business who want their kids to have an education. They want to be debt-free. They want to retire their husband. These are just little ideas, but big whys. Do you see that? And so you have to dedicate yourself to the why, and the storms of life are going to come and go. And this is part of the secret to succeeding, is dedicating, doing the IPAs, doing the action steps when no one else does. You know, you're going to those meetings and you're the only one who shows up, but you're the only one who's leading the meetings. But you know what? The continuing action, dedicating to that, momentum is going to shift. The pendulum is going to shift. Darren Hardy would say that, because you're working on yourself and you're practicing in the meantime those actions, and it's going to happen. Success is totally going to happen. You got to dedicate yourself. All right. So I'm looking through my notes and making sure I'm not missing anything. Oh yes. Jim Rohn. Here it is again. I have another quote for you all right now. When you dedicate, by the way, it's a fancy word for discipline. Fancy. Dedicate. I like it because it's happier and positive, and I'm a very firm believer in speaking positive words to yourself and to people. So Jim Rohn says, you got to have enough reasons to succeed. So maybe your reasons aren't strong enough if you talk yourself out of doing it, right? Oh, I've been there. Every day is practice. You get up and you practice. It's not about the nose. You have to remember, it's not about the nose. Everyone wants to feel good, even you. Everyone wants to succeed. Is how bad. Their reasons just might not be strong enough. And I have a friend, Kim Miller, who constantly is reminding me as I'm watching her reach out to others, people want a purpose. And sometimes you just have to remind them of what it is, right? Purpose. So everyone wants to feel good, right? So it's not about the nose. You got to reach out and practice asking. It's okay if you get a no because you're closer to a yes. All right. So your action steps, I do have 2 action steps for you. The first action step, very easy and very tangible, is for you to pull out your smartphone. I want you to go to your alarm on your phone, and I want you to set it for a particular time in the day where it's not going to be such a nuisance. If you have another job or if you have other things going on, I want you to be able to set it at a time where you're going to hear it every day. Every day. Mine is set at 8 a.m. And this is what I would like for you, just some ideas of what you would put in that slot. 8 a.m., my alarm goes off every day and it says, visualize success. Sonia Dudley told me that it takes 3 minutes a day to visualize. You know what? I took that to heart. Visualize what I want. And so I have it off every day. So you don't have to necessarily visualize. You can put in an affirmation on that. I attract positive people with ease who want what I have. You got to say it. And remember, the more you say it, the more you believe it. All right. So that's why we do affirmations, because it does affect our belief system. All right. Sorry, my nose is running. Okay. So, or you could put in there to visualize success. You could put your affirmations. Let me see. I have another one in here. Set your timer. Oh, or you could put your why. Put your why in there every day and remind yourself of it, right? Okay, because why? Because your story matters. You matter. And you're teaching others the same thing. This is just the beginning stages of beginning aha moments to have emotional resilience. There's lots of other things that I can share with you later. If you want to reach out to me, my email is laura@lauraspragg.com. laura@lauraspragg.com. And you can email me. I have an ebook that you all are more than welcome to have for free if you email me. And it's called How to Face Your Fears and Live a Life with Passion, by the way. And it's a book, and an ebook, and it's a workbook, right? It's really cool. But anyway, I just wanted to let you all know you can reach out to me at laura@lauraspragg.com. and let me know that you watch this video, and I will send you for free the ebook, How to Face Your Fears and Live a Life with Passion, and the ebook, the workbook to go along with it. So, all right, your first tangible step was to set your timer. Set your timer, okay, to practice, whatever it is, but I want it to go off every day because we're not sometimes disciplined for those action steps yet. Okay, we're creating a new habit for success. And the second action step that I would like for you all to do, Nicole, I'm going to ask everyone to stand up. And what you're going to do is when you stand, I want you to take your foot, either foot, I don't care, and you're going to draw a line with your foot on the ground, right? And then you're going to walk over it. And you are now crossing the threshold from I can't to I can. All right. So, all right, you got that? So you're crossing the line over from I can't to I can. And I just want to throw in a third action step for you. It's one of my favorite things that I do personally is that you can practice your willpower. I did not make this up. I found this on the internet, in my research, many countless hours of research, but you can practice your willpower because your willpower also has a muscle memory. Your willpower is what is going to help you dedicate and do all the actions, decide, define, determine, and dedicate. Willpower. So you can put your arms up like this. Can you see it? I'm going to scoot back a little bit. You can put your arms up in the air as a victory pose, and hold it up for 10 seconds. Do you know what you're doing right now too? You are also performing in your body. It's producing oxytocin. All right, here. Oxytocin is your feel-good hormone, and it is also your trust hormone. All right, sorry, my nose is running. I'm still working. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to set your alarm. You know what to put in there, don't you? Every day, the same time every day. And don't just ignore it. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to cross the line. And you can do that every day, by the way. That's also practicing your willpower. Drawing the line on the ground and walking over it. You're practicing your willpower. Same thing by setting your alarm. And then the third one, you're going to hold your arms up in the air. Victory pose for 10 seconds. And you know what? I have a lot of people who do this even while crying, while you're going through something. All right. I hope this was really helpful for you guys in the beginning stages of your business, beginning stages of working on yourself in your personal life. It's developing emotional resilience. So you have to decide what you want, define those terms, determine to take action, and then we got to dedicate to the why and have the discipline. All right. And then that's why we're setting our alarms and practicing our willpower so that we can do all of these things. All right. And if you need to, Nicole, I don't know if you want to send this to people. We're going to put this up on YouTube and we can share it and listen to this every day, or you can reach out to me or Nicole and we'll be glad to help you. All right. So my nose is running. All right. I love you guys. I really appreciate it. Nicole, thank you so much. Mwah. Love you. And remember, what you say is what you become.